Welcome back to my new challenge, the 30 plants in 1 week. And I am so happy to say, it was so much easier than I expected it to be. I think this week I have eaten close to, well, here, let's just look together. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and check out some of the meals that contributed to me hitting these 30 different plants this week. Here we have the oatmeal, and I did add just a dab of butter. Eating this jelly that I bought that's got the 4 plants in it that will get us closer to that goal of 30 per week. And it is pretty tart. Mind you, I don't really care for jelly as it is because it's too sweet, but this one is definitely just more tart. Not bad, just tart. I had this super simple salad the other day while eating out, just a mix of greens, lettuce, spinach, arugula, red leaf lettuce, cucumber, tomatoes, so delicious. I didn't account for any of the plants in the shrimp cocktail, as I'm sure I've already accounted for them. And check out this dinner salad and the variation from the other one just posted. As you'll see, it has the purple cabbage as well as carrots. And I did stick to that list and got some broccoli in, as you can see. And even a jalapeno. We're going to count these ones on the pizza. Now, I did not have time or make time to create that Greek relish that I wanted to this week. However, it is still on the menu. Certainly have the intention to create that this upcoming week, as well as a new take on beans and rice with a bunch of plants in those two as well. So really looking forward to this week and the plants I'm going to incorporate in. I did already go through and create like a tentative list, right? Like this is what I'm pretty much going to be eating. So this is about where my plants should be this coming week, which will be week 2 of the 30 different plants per week challenge. I think the last thing I will have to show you guys is just the last meal I ended Sunday with. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, we do Cali Mist, the pinner. This one, yeah. Okay. Another pinner, no.
I also wanted to point out, I know I've talked about tips and tricks, hacks essentially to get you closer to the 30. As you can see, I ordered 2 different dinner salads the other night and how completely different they were. So keep in mind, ordering salads is another great way to get you closer to that goal of 30 per week, as well as following along with some of the recipes I'll be creating and have created. And I honestly had so much food left over from last week that I don't feel that I need to go grocery shopping this week for any additional food, with the exception of one thing, celery, because again, I do feel like having soup. I know it's summer and like 90 degrees here lately, but I am still craving soup. So that is also on the menu with a variety of onions that I've been using lately. Just a mix of red, yellow, white, and green onions. Just thought that would help make the soup even more flavorful. I don't know. I'm just playing with all of this right now in an effort to incorporate these additional different plants into my life and diet, essentially. I do want to also quickly touch on the reason why I don't care for the refrigerated food in the produce section. And part of it is because, again, like I say in my walk through the produce section video, if you're gonna eat fresh produce, like eat fresh produce. I worked with a coworker who had brought up the fact that she had a bag of lettuce, salad premix sitting in her refrigerator for like weeks, and that she didn't throw it out because it had gone bad, but she threw it out because it had not gone bad. And then within that amount of time, it should have gone bad. And that's how I look at it as well. Plants, they are meant to grow and flourish and then they decay. They do have that ripe window where we eat them. But other than that, you let them go at some point. They let themselves go at some point. So for them to stay natural and in this ready to eat state for for a prolonged amount of time doesn't make sense to me either. So that's why I say, I would do my best to avoid it. But I even eat some of that stuff myself. So, it's here or there. I would say eat fresh produce the majority of the time, the best that you can. That's going to be the best way to get that stuff for you. And again, I would just question, like, what is making the salad stay so fresh for so long in those bags? It just seems abnormal at the end of the day, in my opinion. But just wanted to touch on that, as well as canned fruit. So no, I don't think canned fruit is the best way to go getting in your 30 plants per week. But hey, I also understand you need to do what works for you and what is convenient for you. However, usually canned fruit is full of sugar. And so again, my whole objective is to eat like as little sugar as possible. That would be contrary to the objective there. But again, I also understand doing what you need to do, right? So just something to keep in mind if you are exploring other easy, convenient ways to get these different plants into your life. I did buy canned corn the other day, and obviously canned beans. I'm not gonna spend hours and days making beans, although I would love to. I also don't have that kind of patience either. I've tried it and it just was not happening. After all that time, my beans did not work out as they should have, so there was some disappointment and time somewhat wasted. So again, I do understand the convenience in these foods. That's why they exist. But my biggest recommendation would be to eat as close to the source and as fresh to that natural source as possible. And fresh produce just there on that shelf in the produce department is what's going to get you there, in my opinion, in the most healthy way. So just my little spiel on that. I wanted to clear some of that up. Something else I've noticed is that, I don't know if it's like this for you, but I really get in the habit of eating the same things pretty often. So I found that, well, maybe it's just too about replacing some of the things I eat with these other things, with plants. Or for example, not having an omelet every morning, or eggs and potatoes, or just eggs. I mean, you've seen my omelets. They're usually pretty healthy though, eggs and veggies. But maybe not having that and opting for the oatmeal instead, or maybe doing a combination of both throughout the week instead of just sticking to one, because that's what I found that I've been doing. It's like, oh, I'm very habitual about how I'm eating and what I'm eating. And so kind of just broadening that a little bit further, or switching up the meals. Essentially, again, I'm not totally changing the way that I'm eating. I'm still allowing myself to eat whatever. But just overall, I am aiming to eat less meat, and more fruits, vegetables, and at this point, plants, obviously. And what a great way to help you replace meat, than by replacing it with something even more healthy for you, a plant, right? So just wanted to also explain a little bit further there and my thinking with that as well. That essentially, once you do start to incorporate these different plants into your life, you will see maybe you're eating different meals that are really able to help you achieve that goal. And maybe you're not eating, maybe you start eating the same meals, but the difference would be they contain a lot more of these plants that are helping you to hit that goal. Because again, a lot of this is just adding in certain seasonings, or even just adding in certain fruits and vegetables. Instead of using one onion, use the 3 different varieties. So just incorporating those different varieties into our lifestyle and diet, rather. And I don't want to keep saying diet because it has such a negative connotation. Diet, obviously, for me, just meaning the way that we eat, our diet as a whole, how we nourish ourselves. Week 1 done. Overall, just a lot of fun exploring what I was going to eat, how I was going to incorporate that into my meals throughout the week. And this week, I'm really excited about the at least 2 recipes I will be creating and sharing with you all as well. So this, again, has just been a lot of fun. I'm really excited going forward, and I'd love to hear how this is going for you. If you are also participating or have been eating 30 plants per week, share down in the comments. And again, if there are any oddball fruits, vegetables, plants you think we should try, I'd love to hear those down in the comments as well. One other thing I noticed I wasn't counting was the lemon in my water, and oddly enough, the lime in my drinks. But yes, I did make sure to account for those this week. And again, we saw how many plants that was, which was pretty awesome to hit. And again, pretty effortlessly. I look forward to sharing with you all this next week, and thank you all so much for engaging with my channel.